So you've got a child moving from year 2 to year 3. You might be sensing that this isn't just another school year. It feels like a massive leap. And you're right. It's one of the biggest changes in primary school, and it can catch both parents and kids totally off guard. Let's break down what's really going on.
It all kicks off with this little name change. One day they're in the infants, all cozy and looked after. The next, boom, they're juniors. But trust me, this is way, way more than just a new sign on the school gate.
In fact, this jump from Key Stage 1 to Key Stage 2 is the single biggest shift they are going to face in their entire primary school journey. It's like the whole rulebook for school gets a complete rewrite, and it happens almost overnight.
Now, this big change is what often leads to something teachers and parents call the year 3 dip. You might see a little drop in their progress or confidence. So what's actually causing it? Well, it boils down to 3 fundamental shocks to their system. Okay, first up, the independence shock. And this one, wow, this is probably the biggest and most immediate change they'll feel. That cozy safety net they had in the infant years, it's suddenly pulled away, and the expectation for them to manage themselves goes right through the roof. And you can really see the difference. In the classroom, those fun, play-based corners and sandpits, they're replaced with formal desks, all facing the front. And the support system changes too. That full-time teaching assistant who is always there, they might now be shared between classes, or they might be gone altogether. Suddenly, working on their own is the new normal. And really, this all comes down to something called executive function. It's a fancy term for those life skills we all need: managing our time, paying attention, and just getting organized. So in year 2, a TA might have helped pack their book bag. In year 3, nope. Remembering your PE kit, your library book, your homework diary, that's all on you now. And this really gets to the heart of it. This new demand to be organized, to remember all your bits and pieces. Honestly, this is the stuff that causes the tears. Way more often than any tricky math problem. The practical, day-to-day business of school just got a whole lot tougher. Okay, so that was the independence shock. The next one is academic, and you see it most clearly with reading. The challenge isn't just about reading harder words, it's about using reading for a completely different reason. So here is the absolute key difference. In Key Stage 1, the entire mission was learning to read, decoding the words, figuring out the sounds. But in Key Stage 2, the game has flipped. The teacher now assumes you can read. The new mission is reading to learn, using those books to actually find out new information. Let's make this super practical. A Key Stage 1 question is all about retrieval. What color was the boy's coat? The answer, blue, is written right there on the page. Easy. But a Key Stage 2 question needs something else. Inference. Why did the boy decide to wear a coat? The answer isn't actually written down. The child has to be a detective, find clues like dark clouds, and make a smart guess. And this is a huge deal. This leap from just finding facts to making inferences is the #1 reason we see that year 3 dip. It's a massive cognitive skill that a lot of 7-year-olds are still developing. It's tough. All right, finally, let's talk about something that might sound a little silly, but it has enormous weight in the classroom and the playground: the pen license. This is a massive cultural milestone, and it perfectly sums up all the new, grown-up expectations. For anyone who hasn't heard of this, the pen license is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's this moment when a student proves their handwriting is good enough to graduate from pencil to an ink pen. It is a genuine rite of passage from being an infant to being a junior. But listen, getting one is no joke. The standards are pretty high. A child needs to show consistent, joined-up, cursive handwriting. Their letters have to be the right size and shape, and all their work has to be neat and readable. It takes a ton of fine motor control and concentration. And here's where it gets tough emotionally. When some kids in the class start getting their pen licenses and others don't, it can create a real social divide. For a child who's still on a pencil while their friends are using pens, man, that can be a huge knock to their confidence. It can make them feel like they're failing, all over a pen. So when you put all of that together, you can really see why people call year 3 a bridge year. It's not just the next grade up. It's the bridge to a whole new way of doing school. And for a lot of kids, that bridge can feel pretty wobbly at first. So let's just quickly recap those big hurdles. You've got the independence shock, where they have to manage themselves. You've got the huge academic leap to inference. There's the social pressure of things like the Penn license. And the source material also points to a fourth one, a curriculum shock, where subjects can suddenly get much more intense with weekly tests and a lot more to remember. So really, the most important thing to take away from all this is simple. Year 3 is not just year 2 with harder math. It's a completely different philosophy of school. It's a total shift from that highly supported, play-based world to a new one that demands independence, deep thinking, and a whole lot of personal responsibility. Just understanding these changes, just knowing what to expect, is half the battle. It's probably the most powerful first step you can take as a parent. The real question is, now that you know what's coming, how can you help your child build a strong, confident bridge into this new stage of their school life?
Thank you so much for watching! And for more helpful videos, math and science videos, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. See you soon!